Sometime in the near future, a starship like this one will carry 10 to 12 people around the moon for an experience like no other. Their goal is not scientific or for profit, but rather artistic. What they will do of this stunning experience we do not know yet. Having passed the orbit of the moon, they will turn to look back at our tiny and fragile planet. And then, without stopping, they will start going back. The last man to undertake such a journey came back in 1972. That's 5 decades ago. It's about time, if you want my opinion. Unlike the Apollo missions, this team has to be as diverse as can be. That's why everyone is welcome to apply for a seat. How to get your chance? That's what I'm going to tell you right now. Welcome everyone to the second episode of Getting to Space, your new channel about space exploration. My name is Steve and I'm glad to present to you today's subject. Would you like to win a free ticket for a trip around the moon and back hopefully in 2023? If so, you might have already heard of Dear Moon, a project to send 10 to 12 humans on a trip like no other aboard the currently very fiery Starship vessel. The ride will be paid by Japanese billionaire Yosuke Maezawa, or MZ. MZ unveiled the project in September of 2018. Originally, MZ wanted to send established artists that he would have selected on his own, but then he realized that it's not that easy to define who is an artist and who is not. If you think about it, art, like beauty, is very much in the eye of the beholder. Everyone has the potential to be an artist of its own kind, with its own vision. That's why MZ decided to open the application to everyone, not just renowned artists. The final project was teased by MZ himself on Twitter in February of this year, announcing a big update on March 2nd. This tweet got a few attention, but not that much considering what he was about to unveil. Of course, now the news has spread out on the internet, and most people know about it. On March 2nd, a new website was published with all the details regarding the new Dear Moon mission. On this website, what you can see besides the very happy astronaut models is a video presentation of the new mission and the motives of MZ for funding this endeavor, as well as a timeline detailing the roadmap of the project with important deadlines I will tell you about later so you don't miss them. Of course, we have the mandatory social media section to get the public's attention, including a future spacesuit filter to try and create some traction on the communication side. If it can interest some people into space exploration, then why not? Then there is a section called Starship and the Suit, and I encourage all of you to take a look. Some of the artwork there are beautiful, and some of them reveal a new little design adjustment on Starship. If you want to know more about that, you should definitely go to What About It channel. Felix made a video explaining that in detail. Go check the website by yourself, the address is dearmoon.earth, the link is in the description. If you click on the big yellow link called Join the Crew, you get to a page that will allow you to fill an application form to get your ticket to the moon for free. Or at least you get your crew candidate ticket and a chance to get the real one later during the oncoming selection process. The information they ask for are very basic. Of course, they want your full name. I find it interesting though that the country you are from is entirely optional. It's just to add your flag to the certificate. An email address is also needed, of course, to get in touch with the application form, as well as a profile picture. That's all they ask for, so you can see that the criteria are extremely broad at the moment. Literally anyone can apply if they want. The only official two conditions are: 1. Your art during the flight has to be related to space, and 2. You have to commit yourself to working and supporting your fellow crew members. I, for one, think that's quite a reasonable condition, especially given that MZ is paying for everything. That's why I encourage all of you to register and become a crew applicant. Even if you are not an aspiring artist yourself and have no chance of actually being selected, the sheer number of applications will show the world how many people are interested in going into space. You don't have much time though, as the pre-registration ends this Sunday, as stated on the DMOON website. 1 week later, by March the 21st, the initial screening will be completed. The step 3 is the assignment phase. I don't know what it is yet, but I will keep you updated. Next are the online interviews of the candidates, and the few that will pass these steps will have a final interview and a medical exam. On this subject, SpaceX recently published a job offering concerning a crew training and establishing medical screening process. That will lead us to the end of June this year, and we will have a short list of crew members and backup crews that will begin their training and preparations for the flight, including the eventual artistic performance they want to set up in space and around the moon. The flight itself is scheduled for 2023, but of course it is very likely to suffer from delays as the vehicle from the strip, the Starship, is still in the early phase of development and has yet to prove itself flight-worthy and human-rated. Nonetheless, I am very confident that SpaceX will eventually make it work, although probably a little bit later. SpaceX engineers, though, have proven before that they can achieve remarkable things, and their experience in human spaceflight is now proven, with Crew Dragon flying regularly to and from the ISS without a hitch so far. What you are seeing now are the spacesuits designed by SpaceX and currently used aboard the Crew Dragon spaceship during the launch phase and landing. These suits provide the passengers with oxygen and communication in case of a depressurization of the ship. The same suits are going to be used for the DMOON mission, and I think they look really cool. What do you think you would look like wearing one of them? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're at it, if you liked the video so far, please click that like button. It will really help my channel grow. And now for the final part, the flight plan. This part hasn't changed from the original design in 2018 and is fairly similar to the path followed by the old Apollo missions. It's a free return trajectory that will naturally make the spacecraft come back down to Earth after one loop around the Moon. But first, of course, is the launch of the Starship vehicle on top of the Super Heavy booster. While the booster gets back down safely to the launch platform, the Starship will light up its engines to make it to a parking orbit. After only 30 minutes around the Earth, the engines are lit once again to put the Starship onto a trajectory for a lunar flyby after 2 days of transit. The crew members will then see the Earth getting smaller and smaller, and the Moon getting bigger and bigger every day. After more than a day in close proximity with the Moon, including an Earth rising over the lunar horizon, as seen by the Apollo astronauts back in the 60s and 70s, what a view it will be! After 2 other days going back, the ship will enter the Earth's atmosphere and land, hopefully a little smoother than as intended lately. And that brings an end to this second episode of Getting to Space about DMOON. I hope you liked it and that you will apply for a seat on this beautiful mission. If you liked my videos, be sure to subscribe to be notified of the next episodes. That's it for today. Getting to Space signing off.